G'day everybody, welcome along to a Main Freight Rugby special, the New Zealand Heartland 15 and their tour of the Cook Islands, a tour that actually starts in New Zealand. 3 games the Heartland 15 have, a game against New Zealand Marist and then 2 matches in Rarotonga against the Cook Islands. And we're going to start on Auckland's North Shore at the Institute for Sport, which is the headquarters for the Heartland 15 as they get ready for this big tour in their jerseys before the first game to be presented by former All Black Josh Kronfeld. Josh, an All Black of the 90s, played his rugby for Otago and a native of Hawke's Bay.
Now, the Heartland boys here that you've been presenting the jerseys to, they're on tour. You got any advice for them?
Yeah, don't do an Aaron Cretin. Simple as that. Oh, look, yeah, I think the best advice you can give is, like, respect everyone's space, but, and have a good time doing that, like, it's touring, I've done some of the longer tours of this sort of last era of rugby, and it's really neat, it's exciting.
And the captain, Peter Rowe.
Away from home, you're creating a new family, you're putting together a product that on the field that is going to be what sort of identifies what that team was, So it's pretty neat, and it's a lot of fun, and it's.
At the North Harbour Marist headquarters at the North Harbour Stadium when the Heartland 15 play the New Zealand Marist 15. 2 teams with silver ferns on their chest.
I thought we've come together quite nicely. There's been a lot of laughing and whatnot around the camp, and a few card games going on, and yeah, a bit of bullshit talk. So no, things have been quite good. So yeah.
You'd be pretty good at that game, would you?
No, here you're actually the champion at the moment, eh? So,
what do you reckon today, John? On the game, New Zealand Marist, we've played them for a few years now, and obviously winning the last 2. How do you think we'll foot it today?
We'll foot it well. We just got to do our basics well, and I think the first 20 minutes is going to be a tester for us because a lot of new players in the team this year, and it's their first crack at pulling on the black jersey, and it's something special. But their first 20 minutes is going to go real fast, and it's whether how we can adapt through that period of time to how we come out the other end. So,
what do you what do you think? Like, you've been in the team a few years. What do you reckon? What does it mean to you when you pull on that jersey again?
Oh, mate, it's a special feeling, just to get named in the team and to turn up into camp and to see all the boys, and like the new guys and that, it's a pretty special feeling, and to have that black fern on your chest, it means a lot.
Kurt, Heartland team's been together for a week now. How's everything going?
Really good, yeah. The boys have come together well, gelled well. We've had some good sessions on the park and some good off-field stuff too, with regards to our systems and structures. So, no, really well.
And how do you prepare against a team you know nothing about?
I think you've just got to make sure you do what you do well with regards to system structures, and you can't really worry about the opposition because we don't know what side's turning up each week. So, no, we just get on with our own stuff, yeah.
Conditions good today?
Great, yeah, great day today, yeah, lovely sunny day, good hard track. I'm sure it'll be hopefully a good encounter.
So current holders of the McRae Cup, obviously that adds a bit of spice.
It certainly does, yeah, when there's a bit of a silverware to be fought for, it brings the best out in both sides. So we were fortunate enough to win it the last 2 years, but I've no doubt New Zealand Marist, by the looks of their team, are keen to win it back.
Ben, you're playing for New Zealand Marist today. How's the team prepared?
No, I thought the boys have gelled well. Our first day was just about having a bit of fun in games, just getting to know the boys on a different level. Yesterday was more, just getting some patterns right, getting some combinations right. And we had a quick run early on today, so the boys are looking pretty sharp for a couple of days together. And
your expectations from today?
I think it's going to be it's dry ground. It's going to be nice running rugby, but it's just the excitement about one of these games that anything could happen, and proud Marist man, so hopefully we get up today.
Ben Tamiafuna, probably the best known name in the New Zealand Marist 15, playing there at number 3. Number 8, the captain, Murray Hewson from Poverty Bay, must have himself been very unlucky not to make the Heartland 15. And Ilisa Ravundra on the wing, who played a starring role for Buller in the Heartland Championship. And here are the Heartland 15, led out by their captain, Peter Rowe. Strong looking side, Whakataki Cunningham from King Country at number 10, and there's some fast, elusive backs outside of him, and up front Clark and Moore, the big forwards.
Great reception here, North Harbour Marist. Good turnout too. Equally important for the New Zealand Marist side, representing all the clubs up and down the country, but 10 of the Heartland unions represented in this Heartland 15, so important to get the combinations right early before they head off onto the plains of the Cook Islands.
Cunningham. After some good play in midfield from 12 and 13, that's Nambanivalu and Mweki, Cunningham gets the inside pass.
Jen, it's very early on this match. It looked like the combinations are working pretty well. So a lot of stuff done by Kurt McCook and the coach of the Heartland 15 on the training paddock. Of course, it's always nice to emulate that in the battle itself.
Halfback is Jake Ashby. Oh, terrific hands from Cunningham. Nambanivalu. Cunningham goes and plays halfback. Moiki spins it wide. And out there is Monaghan going in for the try. They're looking very good in the backs at the moment.
It's a really nice pattern of play, haven't they, the Heartland 15. Good set phase. We see that scrum and line out been working well, which is so important. But it looks like they just want to keep going and wrapping them the same way. Good midfield set. They knew what they were going to do, which is really important. Numbers 1 to 15. So 14 guys working very hard for the 15th man to get over for the try, and that was Monaghan.
Now, the players not the only ones in black. The St John's Ambulance Service, they might be needed too with the hard ground here at Albany.
Yep, the council are doing a lot of work at a lot of the grounds on the North Harbour region. North Harbour Marist, one of the last ones to get their fields done up, getting ready for next winter's football season.
They plant them now, with that grass that turns brown and looks horrid, but actually holds together and gives you a very, very good surface on which to play, although it doesn't look like much. This is Marist going ahead through Gilbert. Gilbert finding space, looking for support, decides he doesn't want it, and he's dead right. Troy Gilbert from Whangarei goes in for the try.
He's had a breakthrough season, has Troy Gilbert, to represent the Tani far right throughout the campaign 2014. Of course, from Marist and Whangarei, one of the champion clubs up that way. Good strong, both in the upper body, good leg drive. That's a good reward for him. Not so good for Ben Tamiafuna. Seems to cop the little gash above the right eye.
This looks dangerous for the Marist. Yep, over they go.
Chris Long, that is, from Palmerston North Marist. The big
well constructed drive, eh? They just got it dead right, and there was no opposition there from the Heartland 15. There was going to be no stopping this.
Well, the Heartland 15, we've talked about their flow and passage of play, which is going wide. They also need to get their heads in the game when the Marist side are driving. It's really up to the forwards, not always thinking width. Sometimes got to think depth at the maul.
Conversion goes wide, so we go to half-time with the Marist 15 ahead of the Heartland 15 by just the 2 points in what has been a very entertaining and quite willing first half at Albany, the opening game of the Heartland Tour for 2014.
Quite interesting contrast and preparations, clearly. The resources around New Zealand Heartland 15 probably better than New Zealand Marist. They got off to a better start, but the longer this game is going, the better Marist are looking.
Mikey with a good run, broke one tackle, dummied a couple more, broke another one, found the man outside him. Nambari Lavu goes in for a very, very good try indeed. Look at the work from the Poverty Bay man, TK Moiki.
Yeah, well, it's a strength, wasn't it? I mean, we can talk all the resources and all the preparations you like. You still got to make your tackles. does New Zealand Marist. They didn't. Mweki just strong. They're going too high on them. That really is the ultimate sin there, going too high on a strong player like that. And the width game that we come to see in the first 40 minutes from New Zealand Heartland coming right into it in the second half as well.
Well, Marist trying to hold this one up and get the turnover. And they might have got the turnover anyway. Yeah, they have. They've snucked it out of the back of that one. And Big Murray Hewson goes round the side of the ruck. Tamufuno's come back from that cut head. Inside pass, very good. And Begg goes all the way to the line, Sean Begg. That's nice play from quite wide out by the Marist.
Gee, what a wonderful attack. The turnover was great. Big numbers in there, New Zealand Marist working really hard for the turnover. There's that Gill there. I like that little break down that right-hand side. Big in support. He's been a good halfback this afternoon and great from Nelson Marist. There's Sean Begg. And right there in support, as always.
Plenty of competition at the line out. That scruffy old ball that Marist have got to go back and do their best. Ravundra goes back and actually claims the ball. He's done pretty well, really. Biggs kicks charge down. Oh, Cole Baldwin gets the try from the charge down. You know what those charge downs are like. They can go anywhere. Well, it fell for Baldwin, and they're back in the game.
Yeah, they're getting themselves into the game too, the Heartland 15 forward pack, aren't they? I think mentally they're just more committed around the breakdown, getting over. Baldwin, oh God, he's a good, serious campaigner, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Knew exactly where he had to be, knew what he had to do. And you also got a little bit of luck with those charge downs that the ball just stayed where it had to stay.
Overthrown in the line out.
Fitness really going to come into it too in this hot afternoon now, Mace. Heartland 15 should be in good shape.
Dampney with the kick and the chase. The captain's kick, and it falls ever so nicely. And Nathan Hunt picks it up, goes in the corner, and John Dampney says, this playmaker rolls real easy.
Well, I tell you what, Dampney just backed the speed, didn't he, of Nathan Hunt, because when the kick was set through on our cameras, you don't even see Nathan Hunt on the far left-hand side. Where is he? Well, he is just coming steaming through. He gave them, what, a good 10, 15 metre lead. Did Hunt. A crucial try to get them right back into this match, the Heartland 15. They'll be desperate to get a win to start their tour.
Well, those two blokes have both got a photo of the same thing. Ravundra gets absolutely hammered by Ulakuta. The defence is really good from the team in black here. They're just going nowhere, Marist. They've been stifled.
Well, Marist wanting to play a lot of football down the wrong end. I guess in other games you'd just want them to kick it and get field position.
Well, here's the danger. Here's the danger if you do that. Because you make a mistake and James Lash goes in under the posts, playing the footy in the shadow of your own post. One little error and there's no room to correct it.
Okay, it's not a competition game, but it's still a game of rugby for New Zealand Marist, who are representing all their clubs. But they just really struggled to get out of their goal line. And as I said, on another day, on another game, they may have kicked it for field position. They didn't. They played a lot of rugby and paid the ultimate price.
The pressure coming on from the Heartland 15.
Full of confidence too now, aren't they? The Heartland 15 playing good football. Combinations are linking well. Want to keep that ball alive.
Nambanivalu looking for support. Ranging up is Ulakuta. And he just does the trot over the line. And now it's comfortable lead for the Heartland 15, who were struggling not so very long ago.
And smiles are around, really important. Get that season off to the best, or the tour off to the best possible start. And Balivalu's been wonderful, hasn't he? Such an attacking threat, ball in hand.
Oh, he's strong, isn't he?
Always willing to give it a go. Is this the style of play we're going to see from the Heartland 15? They're in for a great tour.
Well, I'll tell you what, the conditions here at Albany today mimic a little bit what they'll meet in the Cook Islands. Sunshine and temperature, hard grounds. And the final conversion goes over 46-31. That's a good win for the Heartland 15 over New Zealand Marist. They'll be pretty happy, I would think, with that performance.
So Murray, what do you think of the game?
Mate, it was an awesome game. The boys, especially the Marist boys, are honoured and privileged to get together and come up here and to play a quality side like the Heartland team. It's an awesome finisher to the season.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting game.
Yeah, it was, and you know, all those individuals that come together, and we've got 2 days to bring it together, and it's an awesome game to play against them, and you know, to showcase a bit of rugby in front of our Marist family.
Pete, you'd have to be happy with that game.
Yeah, it was real good. You know, like first hit out together, and I think you know, to get points down and then to come from behind and get a good win, I think it builds a lot of you know, a good bond within the boys, and you can just see, you know, we're a different bunch from when we probably started the game, and it's just good to get out of the way and have a good win and start our, you know, we can cross off the first thing our goal that we set, and yeah, we've got, you know, 2 more now, and yeah, I think, you know, that'll put us in good stead for that.
Grace Rowe with her dad Peter. She spends a lot of time with Peter just after a game. Stick around, folks, when we come back. We're off to Rarotonga for the Heartland 15's 2 games against provided accommodation during the course of the stay in Rarotonga, and what a beautiful, beautiful part of the world it is. There's a signboard here that tells you how far the rest of the world is away. You don't really want to know how far the rest of the world is. All you worry about is where you are on the Cook Islands, and it's training time for the Divisional 15. That's hard work in conditions like this.
Well, our team is a good mixture. We've got some very young players in here and a few very experienced old heads, and it's a good mixture of different races as well. So we have a Fijian in here and a couple of Samoan boys along with our own local boys, so it's a pretty good mix. Yeah.
And what do you know about the Kiwis that are playing today?
Well, to be honest, I know nothing at all. The last time a divisional team visited the Cook Islands was way back in 1993, and I was playing in that game then. So it's been almost 21 years now. So for us, the Cook Islanders, we are very happy that New Zealand have decided to come back here again, and it's good development for our rugby, and especially for our young boys in the team.
So training going well this week?
Well, not particularly, but at least we have a team here. I mean, because a couple of codes are clashing at the moment in the rugby league, so some of our boys, some of the other rugby players are there as well. I'm not sure if you're aware, but a lot of our players play both codes, so it's quite difficult. So they have to choose which is which. And but I'm quite happy with the team we have prepared for this match today.
What do you think, Brow? You happy?
Oh, happy to be here, mate. Enjoying the culture and the friendly people that are all around the place. It's bloody good.
Yeah, so I guess firstly we'll start with rugby. We had a good game in Auckland. The boys went pretty well. You've actually now been dropped, so how do you feel about that?
Firstly, yeah, the game was good. Good result in that, but obviously someone showed a little bit more than me, and I believe you've actually taken my starting spot, so it's good to see you're chipper about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not all about me anyway, that's the main thing. We'll get over there first. So we've got a culture night tonight, which will be a bit of fun. I think some of the boys are going to do a haka, and front row candidates. Who do you think's going to be in the front row for the haka in our team? We performed our first haka actually on Saturday, which was pretty exciting for some of the lads. But do you think there's going to be some guys come out of the back row and go to the front? I think it's time some boys sort of started to lead the haka.
Yeah, I think definitely for a lot of us, the first game was an eye-opener, and just see what happens during the haka. And I think a few people like yourself, and in particular Gary Redmond, might see him up the front doing a few pukanas, really into it.
Gary Redmond does love a haka. In fact, he may get a tattoo later on a tour. So I guess we'll finish off on rugby. We're here in Rarotonga, first ever edition in Rarotonga. It's exciting to be here. You'll obviously be watching from the sideline to start with, as we've mentioned. We don't want to go on about that anymore. But I'm sure when you get on, you'll make a great impact. And I think the boys are just excited. General feel in the camp this morning is pretty good. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's been really good. The trainings have been good since we got here. A little bit tough in the heat and that, but it's cooled off this afternoon, a little bit of rain around, so the boys are pretty happy, and just looking forward to getting back on the field.
So you're playing out there?
Playing out there today is just get into the game as quickly as they can. They're going to be very physical, and we're going to have to match that physicality and make sure we get good field position early on especially.
Are you playing in the white jersey today?
We are, yeah, which is great. Yeah, something different, and obviously everyone cherishes the black jersey, but no, the boys are pretty surprised and delighted to be wearing the white jersey, which would be a lot cooler too.
Tell you what, it won't be any drier. The weather has turned damp. and it's dark. We're in the middle of a storm in the middle of the afternoon. Peter Rowe leads the New Zealand Heartland 15 for this first match. Redmond and Clark are the other loose forwards. The Buller duo of Stevens and Lash at 9 and 10 to get us going. And TK Moki, who had a very, very good game at centre against Marist in Albany, will be important. For the Cook Islands, they've got a young man in number 9. Tiano Arona is only 19. Piranesi and Mangele in 12 and 13 are both of Samoan origin. There's a lot of young players here, and they haven't had a lot of time together leading up to this match, and I know that worries a lot of people involved in Cook Island rugby. They reckon they need a little bit more time together before they'll really show it up against the Heartland 15.
Well, it's a test match, Mace, and these Cook Island players coming out now very proud to stand in front of this haka. Fantastic atmosphere, great occasions for the Cook Islands. Really interesting, isn't it? All your preparations done around playing in the heat of the islands, the hard ground, and here we are. Got to change your mindset, playing in tough conditions. Been a lot of rain leading up, so damp underfoot. Ball will be slippery.
Well, the rain's actually gone away just at the moment, but I don't think it's gone away forever, to be quite honest. Drop ball there from Reeves, but he goes back and collects it, but the pressure's good from the Cooks.
Yeah, line speed's been really good. And here we go, talking about line speed. An intercept, an immediate turnover, illegally, penalty. What a start by the Cook Islands. Gee, they're physical. They're getting big numbers to the breakdown.
This is Tiana Arana, all 19 years of age that he is, and he puts the Cook Islands into the lead by 6 points to 3.
This is the field position they needed, the Heartland 15. Try and get their structures going. Scrum and line out worked well against New Zealand Marist. Some big men in there. Look for Craig Moore, the big buller, lock forward.
Well, they need to go forward. There's a lot of crossways, not much forward. I think that's more with the ball now. Whoever it is over and has scored. We'll have to wait till he stands up, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is. It's Craig Moore.
Gee, he's had a good season. We've seen a lot of his ball running ability for Buller, but this time it was a hard graft. You saw the number 4 jersey there at the front of the line out, tuck in, wrap around exactly like he had to do. Got the ball in hand now. Yeah, they did creep across field a little bit, Mace, but the numbers were working really hard in front. And the big man, Craig Moore, crashes himself over and the tech's going straight back, updating the progress.
This is the BCI Stadium in Rarotonga that was main stadium to host the Pacific Mini Games about 3 or 4 years ago. And they did some major upgrades to the facility for that. And it really is a terrific facility here in Rarotonga. Kia orana to all of our Cook Island friends as Mike Tambour sets Monaghan free, and Monaghan runs into the corner, the Wairarapa Bush winger. Good play from way deep.
Well, they've got some gas to burn this back three, haven't they? Monaghan, Tambour, they're finishing off, but another guy who's been great form this season, Josh Clark, started that all with his burst, the big North Otago, number 8. And then there was just speed and pace on the outside. The skill of linking up, that'll please the coach, Kurti McCorkin.
You can take a kid to football, but you can't make them watch.
No, but they are being entertained so far from this Heartland 15, who are really getting to their game now. Of course, the locals desperate for the Cook Islands, sort of get themselves to the kick on from the start that they had.
Nice pass, puts Nathan Hunt in the clear, and his speed does it. But he ran a very good line and ran onto a lovely little pass Did it come from Lash? I wasn't paying enough attention. Let's see in the replay.
Well, you think Monaghan on the right wing's pretty quick. This Nathan Hunt from Warrapa,
that's lovely.
Equally as quick, if not quicker. He really does have some gas and does it well. The timing was perfect too. Hit it well. Celebrations to boot.
6 rugby clubs on Rarotonga. And I don't think there's a lot of 15s rugby played in the smaller islands in the Cook Islands group. They do play 7s in those little islands, but there's 6 clubs here on the main island, and they have a pretty juicy competition. Samania, the captain, puts it high.
Played a couple of games in Rarotonga myself, but unfortunately it's going back a few years. Under 15 levels even.
Under 15s?
A couple of guys that have gone on to represent, will pick up that story. Just after the Monaghan scorer's second of the first half.
He's a good runner, isn't he? He's a very, very good runner. Bit of fortune there where he latched on to the bouncing ball, but he had a lot to do to evade 2 or 3 defenders. I like the look of this player.
But really good heads-up play from James Lash too. Educated left boot it was from James Lash then. Knew there was some big numbers there. Knew the speed of Monaghan. The bounce of the ball did the rest. And over for his second. But no, the Camo under 15s went on a tour over there. Errol Brain, the New Zealand Marist captain, was part of that side. Jeff Crawford was another player who went on and represented North Auckland at first class level. And yeah, we had a heck of a week or so in the Cook Islands.
How'd you get on? Because the New Zealand Heartland 15 are doing very well in the first half of this game. How did Camo under 15s go?
Well, we went pretty well from memory. We played it on the main island, Ototaki, and also had the pleasure of meeting David Bowie. I was over there filming China Girl back in the day.
And the China Girl was a New Zealander?
Yes, she was.
Who then opened a restaurant in Auckland? Leave it with me. Cook Islands doing really well here. They've got some possession, which they didn't have a lot of in the first half. Arona. Oh, drop ball, and now it's kick and chase, and look at all the white jerseys. They're being led by Reeves. And it's Reeves who's picked it up and got to the goal line.
A good reward for the Poverty Bay player. Latched onto that kick, chased through. A lot of determination there, and that's what we need, don't we? When you see an opportunity, see a spilt ball like that, never give up on the chase, because regardless of the kick, if you're there putting pressure, you'll get some rewards. And in the end, it did pop out. Reeves over. They're enjoying themselves out the middle, and they enjoy themselves in the stands too. New Zealand Heartland 15 actually got quite a few supporters, which is great to see. Good reward for these players who've been working damn hard during this campaign. Got the honour of representing their country, and their families come across to watch them.
Well, the replacement players, Nambani Valu, as he makes the break, and then we spin it out wide to another man, Brenton Connell. He needs some help, and the help arrives, but he's gone to ground.
Gee, I thought if he got that down for a try, that'd be a miracle. That had great strength.
Ashby.
He didn't quite.
Ashby spins it wide. His pass goes to ground again, but Clark snaps it up and gets it out even further. And here's the fullback, Mike Tambor, and he's had a very good game. He likes the running play, does Mike Tambor, and he's just at the end of the chain there, and it's 55 up for the Heartlanders.
Well, that is a great example of the skill level of New Zealand Heartland 15. Just most players involved. I think if we count through the 3, 4, coming up 5 passes, a lot of people here at this breakdown, and then the depth of players back to the left-hand side. Craig Moore, the big lock forward, involved. Timaru Tafa also involved, so some of the bigger numbers. Good team try.
There goes the siren for the end of the game as Ashby gets the ball and gets the try. He's just pinched it basically out of a Cook Island scrum.
Jake Ashby, the little mid-Canterbury scrum half, right on the stroke of full time. Cook Islands didn't need this, but the Heartland 15 extend their lead. Second win on their mini tour, beating New Zealand Marist last weekend. Up and over.
64 points to 6 with the final conversion. And there's handshakes and hand claps all round from the Heartland 15. They've played very well indeed against the Cook Islands today.
Tiano, your thoughts on the game today?
Yeah, it was a very hard game. They were a well-polished team and had good structure. And yeah, real tough game out there, brutal, and yeah, it's a fast game.
It's always hard to play against a team you don't know much about.
Yeah. Well, we heard stories, but the stories weren't as good as how they played. So yeah, we have to come out for this Friday game and do better, I guess.
Yeah, it's always good to, when we've toured before, the first one's always hard, and so to come away with a win was good. But like, there's still a lot to work on, and which is good. We'll get the stats off it, and we'll have a look at it, and I'm sure that we probably left a lot of things out there that we could do better. So, which is always good. Good to have things to improve on, and I'm sure Kurt will bring them to our attention, and we'll endeavour to really put them right for our final. Because I dare say it'll be a better side that we face, and those opportunities won't come as easily. So we'll need to be better next time.
And next time's not so far away either, as they recover in the pool at the Edgewater. It's only 3 days until the final match of the tour, and the boys get in some relaxing and enjoy some of the culture of the Cook Islands before their final match, the second test against the Cooks, in a couple of days' time. Of course, this is a long way from the first New Zealand side to have been in the Cook Islands. The Invincibles came here in 1924, the New Zealand Maori in 27 and 92, and the Divisional 15 in 88 and 93. Now, Kia ora from Rarotonga, where the Heartland 15 are on tour, and they're staying here at the Edgewater Resort and Spa. And it's crab racing time. This is a favourite sport at the resort. Number 4's done really, really well. Our thanks to all at the Edgewater. They're great staff, they're great people. It's a terrific place to stay, and they really take care of you. Hospitality is not just a word. And let's hope that those guys all arrive here for the second test in one piece.
Your thoughts on the game today?
My thoughts on the game? Well, the first game, the Cooks got thrashed. I spoke to the boys on the Wednesday after the game, and I said, well, the objective really should be to actually learn from what what the boys encountered in their first game against the Heartland 15, and if they can hold them, hopefully score a try or two against them and keep the score down, and hopefully. I think we'll be pleased with the result.
How do you think the tour's gone so far, Lassa?
Really well, apart from the heat. Good training through the week, and we prepared well for today. I think the boys are already ready for it.
So what do you think is going to happen today out there?
Weather's not that bad compared to the last game. We had that rain, a bit dry. Hopefully we'll be our forward's going to be going forward, and our backline going to finish the job well, score some tries.
Yeah, hopefully our backs can see a bit more ball today, and I'd say old Brower might be in for a few tries today. Needs to catch up to old Monaghan and that, so things will be good. So, you're looking forward to getting home?
Yeah, I'll get away from the heat.
Tell me about that. That'll be good, wouldn't it?
Chester, game 2 of the Cook Islands Test Series. What did you learn from last game?
I think we've just looked at ourselves all the time. We don't know really what we're going to be up against again, but it's a matter of actually having more clarity in our game and sticking to our structures.
And, the weather conditions are a little different today. How's that going to affect you?
The heat, of course, will drain them a wee bit, but without the rain, surely our accuracy will be heaps better. Yeah, and hopefully we'll score some great tries.
It's a warm day. The Cook Islands made plenty of changes for this second test. They brought in Nick Connell and Tom Weeks. Wally Tangana Jr. in number 6 is a player to look out for. And look out also for the captain, Vase Samania, 42 years young, playing outside a 19-year-old scrum half. Good on you. I've got to mention Josh Clark here in number 5. This is the third match he's played on tour. He's played in number 8, he's played in number 6, and now he's playing in number 5. Josh Clark, versatile player. There's plenty of them in the Heartland 15. I do like the look of that back line. They're fast and they're skillful.
Had a couple of knocks they did from the first test of the New Zealand Heartland 15, so really important that those players get their head into the game. Conditions are different, we can see that overhead, so fatigue will be an issue. Concentration comes with fatigue, so the bench is going to be really important with Heartland 15, but more importantly, they've just got to start again, not think that the 58-point margin that they had the first test is going to be easy done right from the start. They've got to earn the right to be able to win again.
Just to remind you, the first match was won by the Divisional 15 by 64 points to 6. And now they've got a terrific drive from a line-out going here. This line-out was 18 metres from the Cook Islands goal line.
And this is the way to start, mates. If we want to play a width game and the speed that we see the Heartland 15, they've got to actually earn that right. So commit some numbers by the Cook Islands up front, which they've done through that set phase drive. And there's a little halfback there. Ashby's burrowed over. No.
They got awfully close. Rose having another go. Carmichael's hoeing. Carmichael, who went off late in the first game with what looked like a pretty bad rib injury. Now over the line, yes, the try is given to the number 8, John Dampney, and the first try of the game to the tourists.
His line was perfect. The timing was even better, but all the hard work done up front by his forwards. And there, and the loose forward, number 8 this afternoon. But gee, there's some versatile players in this Heartland 15, aren't they? Changing from what they normally play for their unions, their provinces, what they played in the first test. Turning up, it's good for their game, good for the development of Heartland rugby.
Dampney, Ashby and Lash. And it's Lash. Everybody was looking for the outside pass, but Jimmy Lash said, nah, I'll tuck it and I'll go. And he showed some toe. 12-3, the Heartland 15 are ahead.
Great running game as James Lash, the bull of 10. Once again, it was a set phase domination by the Heartland 15, this time through a really solid midfield scrum. They got the right-hand side up, which they wanted to do when they were attacking down that right side. In the end, it just come a speed game, and James Lash had it.
Samania kicks out. Going high for the ball, but not getting it was Moore.
A very rare mistake, actually, from Craig Moore.
Cooks come away with it through Tongwang Kandrau.
Best attack of the game so far in the second test from the Cook Islands. Getting good numbers like we saw in the first test at a breakdown. They love the physical side of the game.
Well, they've got plenty of them here. The whole forward pack is there. This pod reels away, doesn't get anywhere. Now the backs have a crack. Here's Samania, he looks out wide, finds Mangali. Mangali! He's big and strong, and you miss one tackle, he'll take advantage of it.
Individual brilliance in the end from the number 12, Mangali. Got a lot of hard work from the kickoff, right from the kickoff it was too. We talked about the numbers that they had at the breakdown, an error there from Craig Moore, turning the ball over. A lot of hard work, 4 or 5 pick and goes underneath the sticks. The change of direction. And look at the shimmy and step from Mangali. A handoff, too easy from Cole Baldwin, going too high on a big strong man like that. And the Cook Islands into the game over the left-hand corner.
Attacking scrum for the Cooks. Arona, off the back of the scrum comes Toe.
Travel Toe, junior, big number 8, isn't he? Good strength. Looks the stronger side, Mace, for the Cook Islands in the second test.
They look to have a bit more combination about them as well, and that's a good try. That's a very good try. No, it's not. I swear I saw the referee's arm go in the air. Does this time.
The first one was a rehearsal. The second one...
Tell me I'm not dreaming.
For Travel Toe Jr., the big number 8, who really started it from a solid scrum. He finished it as well.
There he goes.
No, he was stretching. He was stretching, getting ready for the real thing. And here we go. Travel toe over. Geez, a good-looking athlete too, actually. They'll be happy with him in the stands, and they are.
Well, I wonder if that's Travel Senior. Right. New Zealand 15 here, the Heartland 15 need to just settle things down a little bit. They're just allowing the Cook Islands to dominate possession and field position a little bit in the last wee while, and they themselves... Now we're having a bit of a brouhaha.
Crucial here.
Carmichael versus the world.
Well, Carmichael saw the ball there trapped, and that's what the penalty offence was. Cook Island players not rolling away. He took matters into his own hands using the boot, legally, of course.
Lash.
Lash don't miss those.
He does not. 17 all, the Heartland 15 draw level. They'll just want to consolidate here. They're allowing the Cooks to dominate possession and field position and just rattle them a little bit.
Yeah, I understand what the Heartland 15 are trying to do, keep the ball alive, use the width and pace that they have in the back three. But we often talk about that, earning the right to do all of that.
Play. No, saying you can't do that. Gee, I thought Ashby had done really well there, but he might have had a knee on the ground. Oh, it's not Ashby. It's a much bigger man than Ashby. It's Josh Clark.
Well, at the moment, the Cook Island team are just playing with so much energy, a lot of passion. Wonderful to see. And they're getting and really harassing the Heartland 15 all over the paddock. Close, wide, numbers 1 to 15.
Oh, the wee trick kick-off from Samania, and it's come back in the Cook Islands' favour. Now, they play a little bit of volleyball with it, but eventually somebody lays hands on the ball. It's Solomona.
And they actually have a penalty advantage here, Cook Islands. So they really have a free dig at it. And from what we've seen in the first half, I think they'll take this opportunity.
Yeah, they won't need much invitation on picking. Getting tipped up there is Connell.
No
another hand in the ruck. Yep, he's gone for the high tackle here. There's plenty of offences there, and there's a lot of pointing going on at.
I've got to say, man, it's one a very, very impressive turnaround from the Cook Islands. Look, I'm a little bit disappointed by the Heartlands 15 skill level in this first half of the game, but boy, you've got to give credit. They only scored 6 points a couple of days ago to the Cook Island team.
And the Heartland 15.
Now they're just racking up. The cohesion's so much better. They've been working really hard in those days in between.
Call is going to an end.
Yes.
And the Cook Islands leading 26.
26 points to 20 at the break. The Cook Islands, some very serious talking gone on in the Heartland 15 huddle.
Yeah, I like to think Kurt McCook and the coach wouldn't have actually had to say much because they've got so many captains, so much experience with Heartland 15. Peter Rowe, of course, the captain for this side, but there's John Dampney, captain of his province, Josh Clark, captain of his province. And there's plenty of experience and plenty of cool heads out there.
Well, I think concentration is the key. There's been a lot of handling errors. There's been a few missed tackles. There's been some defences lapses. Almost all of those can be brought straight back to concentration. Look out, try coming. And try scored by Alva'a. They do not need a second invitation, do they, these players?
No, I love the passion, love the energy they're playing with. I've got to say the strength of their backline players is really impressive. Alva'a, the big left wing, but on the right-hand side, you just sort of see through the hips and thighs how powerful they are. You ever attempt to tackle sort of high around the ball, you're going to get brushed off.
33 to 20. This has been a major turnaround for the Cook Islands. Time is up on the clock, and they're going to win this one. They've come from 64-6 down in the first test, and they've beaten the Heartland 15 in the second by 33 points to 20. What a great performance from the Cook Islands. Very pleased. They can be very, very proud of themselves.
Congratulations to the Cook Islands. I hope this win gives your rugby a major boost. For the Heartland 15, to check their preparation.
Here with Vasi Samani, big win for you guys today.
Yeah, it was a big win for the boys and for local boys that give a chance to have a game and have a go against the boys from New Zealand. And we know that we didn't come well on a Tuesday's first game, but we went and do our training the last 2 days, and we want to win. We want to give the best 100% to the Heartland team, and Heartland team is the best team, and we thank them for choosing the Cook Island for their tour. They give us a chance to have a game.
You're the oldest man out on the field. How's it feel?
Yeah, well, still feel sore from the last Tuesday, but yeah, just a passion about the sport, and I want to be part of today's game. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go!
Just like to take the opportunity to thank the New Zealand Rugby Union for putting this tour on for us and giving us the opportunity to put on a black jersey and wear the silver fern. It means a lot to all the boys, and obviously with all the sponsors, the Adidas gear and that, it's really appreciated and something that the boys really cherish, and it's a highlight of the year for to finish the season and be able to come and do this is really good. So yeah, we'd just like to thank them for enabling us to be here. So cheers.
Yeah, good on the New Zealand Rugby Union for supporting the Heartland Tour, and for the Cook Islands Rugby Union as well for the work that they've done with the tour. The sponsors and the supporters, don't they look flash in their tropical number ones? Well, that's it. The sun's setting on another rugby season in New Zealand with the Heartland 15's tour now over. 2 wins out of 3, the Cook Islands taking the Lollies in the last of them by 33 to 20. It's been a pretty good tour. You can see all the results, all the details of this tour, in fact, on anything rugby at that website, allblacks.com. Okay, Camo, this is the bit I always enjoy. Main freight, true blue, and there's a whole crowd of them this time around.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, hasn't he? But the New Zealand Divisional 15, it hasn't just been about the 3 test matches, it's also been about giving back to the community, spreading the gospel of this wonderful game of ours, of rugby in here. There's some of the boys going through the drills at the Catholic school on the island. And really is the number one priority is having fun. That's why we played the game, that's why we started playing the game, that's why we continue to be involved in the game. We love it, it's fun, you make lifelong friends. And who knows, one day, we talked about the tours back in the 20s, the 70s, and in 2014 the Cook Islands playing New Zealand Divisional 15s. One day, one of those boys and girls out there might represent their nation.
Yes, they've been very popular tourists. Kia ora to the people of the Cook Islands. Thank you very much for your hospitality, and may the sun never set on your beautiful islands.